In the summer of 2017, I spent a lot of time on the east coast of Florida photographing and chasing a wide variety of birds, and I've shared some of those experiences with you. It was here that I discovered another incredibly beautiful creature, the sea turtle. And in one summer, I got to experience a huge portion of this animal's life cycle, and I really wanted to share it with you, so come on, let's go check out the sea turtle. The east coast of Florida, a unique place where the mighty Atlantic Ocean is at constant war with the land. An endless amount of powerful waves relentlessly crash along the shore. Sea oats, the land's only line of defense, stand tall and prevent the ocean from eroding everything. This stark contrast of land and sea is home to an immeasurable amount of life. But beneath the water's surface lives an incredible creature, the sea turtle. It's here that a new generation of life begins, and the crashing surf provides the perfect meeting place for these two mature sea turtles. The female, already carrying around 100 eggs, has a very tough job ahead of her. Under the cover of night, she must crawl onto the beach to start the egg-laying process, a task that will take her the entire night. The next morning, the signs of a fresh sea turtle nest are quite obvious. You can easily see where a female sea turtle crawled out of the ocean to lay her eggs. You can also see a clear line of tracks indicating she made it back to the safety of the ocean. So the female, she comes up on the beach and she excavates a nest in this soft sand, and she'll dig a hole down maybe about 1.5 to 2 foot deep, where she creates this chamber like a pocket, and then she lays around 100 eggs into this chamber. And she does this during the summer, so every day the sun comes up and it heats this sand and it makes it nice and warm. It gets the perfect temperature and it makes the perfect incubator for these turtle eggs. So for 60 days, those eggs incubate down there in that pocket, and somewhere around the 60th day, they start to hatch. But here's what's really crazy, is it takes those baby turtles approximately 4 days to crawl out of the sand. That's 4 days of constant work with no food, no sleep, no rest. And they do this when they finally come out, it's nighttime. And they've timed it just perfect because at night they can evade a lot of the predators that are out here on the beach during the day. Now, I wasn't allowed to film this process because it's against the law to film any nighttime activity of the sea turtles, but I did experience it. And let me tell you, it was one of the coolest things I've ever seen in my life. And if you ever get the opportunity to see a sea turtle nest hatching, don't pass it up. The entire ground kind of starts to bubble and undulate for about a period of an hour, and then you'll see little turtles start poking their heads up and they kind of look around at the world for the first time, and then all of a sudden, as if somebody blew a whistle, all of them just come out of the ground at once and just go marching right down the beach in a straight line. It's absolutely incredible. And that's where their struggle begins, because now they have to swim for approximately 2 days out to the weed line, out into the ocean, to where they can rest. Now, the local county has a group of people that consists of a huge amount of volunteers. In fact, I volunteered for them for a little while, and then some paid employees who kind of keep their eye on the entire beach and all of the turtle nests to make sure that everything is okay. They do regular trips every morning up and down the beach to check out all the nests that might have happened overnight and to make sure that there's no problems. And then they also go and they excavate nests that have already hatched to count how many eggs have hatched and to kind of see whether or not the nests were successful. And I was lucky enough to go experience one of these excavations. Come on, let's go check it out. The excavation process begins by digging up the turtle nest and placing all of the hatched eggs into a sifter. A volunteer sifts away the sand and starts counting the eggs that have hatched. All of this information is then recorded and used to determine just how successful the turtle nest was. In this case, the nest had a success rate of around 95%, and that's actually really good. Some of the eggs don't actually make it through the incubation process, and I really like this image because it not only gives you a good idea of the size of the egg, but it also shows an adult sharing this experience with the child. But this egg wasn't the only surprise in this turtle nest. There was also one hatchling that hadn't managed to dig its way out of the sand just yet. Here's a good close-up shot of that little turtle. And look at that, it's almost completely covered in sand. What a cute little thing. By the way, this is a baby loggerhead sea turtle, one of 4 species that calls Florida home. Time to release this little turtle down by the water's edge so it can start its journey out into the ocean. I mentioned how the turtles time their egg laying with summer so that they can use the warmth of the sun to warm up the sand and incubate the eggs. It's a great time for that, but it's also a really bad time because that's when we have our most severe weather. In Florida, you have a lot of tropical activity that happens during the summer. You have tropical storms and hurricanes that come close to the state, sometimes hit the state. And this year we had one do that. You can see all the erosion there. Those little cliffs didn't used to be there. So all the turtle nests that were on this part of the beach that had not hatched yet are all gone. But all these little white pieces, those are turtle eggs, or what's left of them. Here in all the weeds. If you look, they're everywhere. Down the entire beach. So I mentioned how the baby sea turtles will swim for a few days out to the ocean, and they swim out to this floating massive weed called the weed line. It's a sargassum weed, and they use this as shelter. So they swim out there and they get up in this weed and they can rest and get some food, and that's where they spend the first few months of their lives. The problem with that is a lot of times these storms will wash all of that weed back onto the beach, and now all these turtles that have struggled to get out there have been washed back onto shore, and they don't have any strength to go back out again. So a group of volunteers will monitor the beach, and they find these turtles. They call them washbacks. They find them, they collect them, they take them to an area where they keep them safe for a few days. They might rehabilitate them, and then they put them on a boat when the weather has cleared and take them back out to the weed line and drop them off to kind of give them a second chance at life. So a call went out asking if anybody would be able to transport all of these washbacks to the zoo, and I volunteered, and when I got there, I had a really big surprise. One of the members of the county turtle crew found an entire nest of baby green sea turtles. These turtles would not survive the huge surf the storm caused, so they were rescued by the county employee. They still think they're in the nest, so they're not moving around. I delivered these turtles to the local sea turtle rehab unit where they were kept safe until the storm passed. It's estimated that only 1 in 1,000 hatchlings survive to adulthood. That's pretty drastic, because they have all these challenges to reach adulthood. And these challenges don't stop when these turtles reach maturity. Sometimes adult turtles have issues too. They found a turtle by the name of Lucy. This is a female loggerhead turtle on the beach, and she was sick. She was taken to the same location where they rehab all the turtles, and they gave her rehabilitation, and they brought her back up to good health and released her on the beach. At almost 200 pounds or 90 kilos, it's a lot of work for this turtle to crawl back into the ocean. It just needs some water to help lighten the load a little bit, and then it's back off to the sea. I wanted to end this video with this image I captured of a young green sea turtle. This was the first time I have ever seen a sea turtle's eye this close, and it really blew my mind. It looks like this sea turtle has a tiny blue ocean within its eye. How cool is that? Thanks for coming along with me on this adventure. Don't forget to click the thumbs up, leave a comment letting me know what you thought about the video, and feel free to share the video as well. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button because I have plenty of other great videos planned. Thanks for watching.